Caitlin Clark, the only WNBA player receiving over 500,000 fan votes for the WNBA All-Star Game. Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, Lexi Hull, the Fever 4, sitting in the top 10 when it comes to WNBA fan voting for the All-Star Game.
But what happens when the amount of fan votes for a single player increases from less than 100,000 to more than 515,000? The 2025 WNBA All-Star voting is dominated by Caitlin Clark. That's the reason, however, Clark's leadership isn't the whole picture. For players from the Indiana Fever are ranked in the top 10. Angel Reese, the player who openly declared that people should keep an eye out for her, is nowhere to be found. Indianapolis will host the 2025 All-Star Game. Additionally, the Fever recently demonstrated that they are homeowners. Vote for the Fever in the All-Star Game and leave a comment below with your thoughts on Fever Fab4. Come on.
Every chance the Indiana Fever fans, every chance Caitlin Clark fans, every time they have a chance to show up, they show out. Every time they have an opportunity to support, not only do they support, they go above and beyond when it comes to attendance, when it comes to viewership, when it comes to merchandise, and now clearly, as it's always been clear, the extracurricular activities, the add-ons, the plus ones, the this would really help us. This would really help you. Say no more. Please, let's try to get these girls in the, this is what you want? Say no more. And the Indiana Fever fans did exactly that.
Let's examine the WNBA All-Star voting process prior to Caitlin Clark's revolution. Imagine this situation from only 2 years ago. The greatest names in the league were vying fiercely for the support of the fans. There was fierce rivalry because the numbers were so similar. Every vote mattered.
Caitlin Clark's leading, and we've got 4 Indiana Fever players in the top 10, which I think can be expected considering where it is that the game is being played. So I will give people a lot of credit. I think a lot of people, it looks like, voted based on basketball for the most part. And there's a supposed, people keep telling me, supposed second most popular player in the league. That doesn't look like the second most popular player at all.
This is when things start to get interesting. Not a single WNBA player received 100,000 votes in the All-Star voting in 2023. Not one. A much smaller bubble of ardent supporters contained the entire voting process. Just 8 players were able to get more than 50,000 votes. Although these figures were respectable for the league at the time, they demonstrate how drastically the situation had changed.
First returns for the WNBA All-Star voting when it comes to the fan vote. Caitlin Clark, number 1, absolutely no surprise. The biggest, the best, the most noticeable, the face of the WNBA. If you had any questions about the face of the WNBA, look at that graphic right there. That's called the face of the league.
In 2025, Clark simply destroyed the figures in just the first round. She received 515,993 votes. That is more than 5 times the total number of votes received by the leading candidate during the 2023 election. Not only did Clark win the vote in terms of WNBA fan interaction, she redefined what success looks like. That's not all, though. The entire league was affected by Clark's influence. 19 different players surpassed the 100,000 vote threshold this year, which was not reached in 2023. The number of fans increased significantly. Women's basketball is receiving more attention than it has in the past. The entire sport was elevated by Clark's star power.
Clark garnered 515,993 votes over the first week of fan voting. She's the only player to eclipse 500,000. Nafisi Collier, who is probably the leader of the MVP pack right now, is at 485,000. Aaliyah Boston is third, 447,000, as she should be.
Do you wish to know the true significance of these figures? Fans' relationship with the WNBA has fundamentally changed as a result of Clark's 515,993 votes. These aren't merely bystanders who click once and move on. These are devoted fans who made the extra effort to cast their ballots for their preferred athlete. The engagement levels demonstrate that women's basketball has gained popularity in the sports world. The picture becomes even more evident when comparing Clark's voting power to other Big sports all-star games, her numbers are comparable to those of well-established leagues with devoted fan bases spanning decades. She's creating the kind of fervent fan reaction that usually takes years to develop. This was accomplished by Clark in less than 2 seasons.
Fisa Collier, number 2. Aaliyah Boston, number 3. Asia Wilson, number 4. Brianna Stewart, number 5. Paige, Kiki Iriafen, 2 rookies in the top 10. And we got Kelsey Mitchell, 7. Sabrina, 8. And Lexi Hull, 9. We got 2 rookies. We got 4 Fever players. We got 2 Liberty players. We got Nafisa Collier, a top 2 player in the league right now, arguably the best. And we got the Asia Wilson conglomerate continues to show up for their girl.
With 484,758 votes, Nafisa Collier is in second position, which 2 years ago would have been unimaginable. The vote records for 2023 would have been broken by that figure alone. The fact that it is currently in second position demonstrates how drastically Clark has changed the electoral landscape. Each of the top 10 players this year achieved numbers that would have exceeded those in prior years. However, Clark's personal achievements only reveal a portion of the tale this season. Her 19.9 points and 8.7 assists per game support the enthusiasm of the fans. Her fame from college is not the only reason. She is well-liked every night on the court she delivers. Her games are followed by the amount of viewers. When she performs, the attendance numbers increase in ways that the WNBA has never seen. Clark draws attention to the sport.
But not everybody's conglomerate is showing up for their girl. Not everybody's pieces are showing up for their girl. Not everybody's stands are showing up for their girl. Caitlin Clark, 500,000. Aaliyah Boston, like we said. When we start jumping out of the top 10, we got Kelsey Plum, okay. Satu Sabali, 2. And then we got Angel Reese at 13 when it comes to WNBA fan voting. Angel Reese and the Reese's Pieces continue to have more Twitter fingers than actual act.
The voting process itself had to change to accommodate the substantial rise in turnout. The system that handled 50,000 vote totals without any problems had to handle 10 times as many votes. The league was compelled to update its entire fan engagement program. Due to Clark's success, her all-star voting record-breaking performance demonstrates something more than personal accomplishment, a new standard for WNBA star power has been established by Clark. Her performance this year will serve as a benchmark for future all-star voting. Not only did she break records, but she also set an entirely new benchmark for the Indiana Fever as a team. Clark's supremacy in fan vote produced something even more amazing.
Second straight year that Clark has led the fan voting. She was second in early returns in fan voting in 2024, but jumped to first with around 700,000 total votes by the end of the period. So I'm wondering, are we going to see 1 million votes this time? Because I saw somebody earlier that said, so far, voting is actually way up versus exactly where we was at this time last year.
This is where the narrative really picks up steam. A single superstar has the power to transform a franchise, but is it possible for a single superstar to elevate an entire team to all-star status? With the Indiana Fever this year, that is precisely what took place. The distribution of all-star votes among various clubs and markets is often quite uniform. The top places are usually taken by the major names from well-known teams like Seattle, New York, and Las Vegas. Smaller market teams compete for one all-star pick if they are fortunate. Seldom do teams have more than 2 players in the top 10 when fan bases are dispersed among 12 different places. It is simply how the voting process operates.
Something that I want to talk about. On the left side of your screen, we're seeing the 2025 numbers, and then boom. On the right side of your screen, you're seeing the 2024 numbers. Arike Ongumbawale went from a top 5 vote getter to all the way down to 34th. The jig is up. The jig is up, Arike. You have been found out.
Everyone was asking the same straightforward question: could Clark's teammates benefit from her enormous popularity? Would supporters of the Fever attend for their star point guard alone, or for the complete team? People were left wondering if this would be Clark's unique moment or something more significant for the franchise. Due to the early vote results, everyone was startled when the complete voting results were revealed. Aaliyah Boston's enormous vote total puts her in third place. You wouldn't expect a reliable colleague to land in 5th or 6th place, third in the WNBA as a whole. In other years, Boston's 361,018 votes would have easily won All-Star voting. She is not merely a passenger. Her exceptional play and the backing of her fans have earned her a slot.
Kelsey Mitchell, of course, Indiana, 277,000. Lexi Hall, 217,000. And there is Kiki Arifin, 213,500. She's averaging a double-double, a legit double-double, with a good field goal percentage.
That's not all. Though Kelsey Mitchell received 198,471 votes, placing her in 7th place for several years, Mitchell has been among the league's most reliable scorers. At last, a sizable portion of her fan following appeared. She is demonstrating that experienced leadership is equally as important as rookie energy by averaging 17.6 points per game. This is where things become very crazy. With 161,832 votes, Lexi Hall came in 9th. Hall embodies all that supporters adore about diligence and team spirit. She doesn't score a lot, but she does all the little things that help teams succeed. Fans' recognition of her worth demonstrates how much attention the entire Fever roster is receiving. It has never happened in WNBA All-Star voting for 4 players from one team to dominate the top 10. The majority of teams rejoice when one player is chosen. Almost half of the top 10 positions were recently taken by the Fever. Mitchell, Hull, Boston, and Clark produced something unique that transcends personal success. You can notice how uncommon this is when you compare it to the representation of other teams. 2 players from the Las Vegas Aces are in the top 10. Additionally, the New York Liberty managed 2. Most clubs received either a 0 or a 1. The Fever took part in more than simply All-Star voting. They gained total control over it. Imagine the impact this has on fan support and team bonding. Every day these 4 athletes work out together. They are well familiar with each other's games. In Indiana, they have created something unique that directly contributes to on-court victories. Voters who support all 4 players are supporting the team culture that contributes to the Fever's success. The vote results demonstrate that Fever fans don't only back specific celebrities, they back the program as a whole. They understood that great players improve one another, and that basketball is a team sport. Although it was made possible by Clark's triumph, Boston, Mitchell, and Hull had to overcome it with their own exceptional efforts. This year, the Fever received more than one All-Star pick. They completely took over the voting process, demonstrating the potency of team chemistry when it resonates with ardent supporters.
Caitlin Clark has 3 times the amount of votes. 3 times the amount of votes as Angel Reese. So, there you go. I suspect Sophie Cunningham's numbers are going to grow. After what we've seen, somebody said, I saw some things online about they sold $1 million worth of Sophie Cunningham jerseys, and something in the neighborhood of 12,000 all went out one day, or all got bought at one day, and it jacked up the Indiana Fever system, this, that, and the other. By the way, the Slows are pissed off about Sophie even being on this list.
Imagine this moment on July 19th. Indianapolis will host the 2025 WNBA All-Star Game at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. The Fever recently won the All-Star vote in the same arena. You couldn't create a better script for home court advantage. With 4 players in the top 10 cities that host All-Star Games typically have trouble getting their own players chosen. Voting is dispersed among many fan bases and marketplaces. If home teams are fortunate, they may acquire 1 player while their own roster watches from home. The majority of host communities wind up supporting visiting All-Stars. When there isn't a celebrity spearheading the effort, that is simply how All-Star voting operates. This is where things start to get interesting, though. What happens if the home team takes part in more than simply All-Star voting? When they fully seize control, what will happen? The Fever created something unheard of in WNBA history for their home All-Star Game. On July 19th, Gainbridge Fieldhouse will host 4 of its own players as All-Stars. All-Star jerseys will be worn by Clark, Boston, Mitchell, and Hull. When they enter their home court in an All-Star game, the audience will be supporting their own team. That energy will be completely electric. It will seem less like an exhibition and more like a playoff game.
Sophie Cunningham has got 95,116 votes as of right now. I'm going to be very interested, as of right now, I don't know if they will technically take the top. There's 24 spots, so I don't know if they're going to take the top 24. I'm assuming they will. But if they do, she would be on the All-Star team as of right now.
The Fever's voting triumph extends beyond the top 10. In the expanded top 40 votes, several players made waves. Fans of Fever turned up to cast ballots for all those donning the uniform.
Angel Reese. Well, wait a minute. I thought it was about you too. Everybody's watching because of me too. Except everybody's not watching because of you too. I mean, guys, if the ratings ain't enough and the attendance ain't enough and what happened at LSU ain't enough and all this other stuff ain't enough to tell you where Angel Reese's place is, well, it's 13th place. And I can tell you right now, Jonquel Jones ought to be ahead of her.
Let's now discuss those who failed to cast a ballot despite having a significant social media following. Angel Reese is totally missing from the top 10. Do you recall all the discussion about how she attracts viewers' attention? Do you recall the assertions that she is the reason why people watch the WNBA? The results of the vote provide an entirely different picture online. Reese's fans say a lot, but when it matters, they don't turn up. Actual votes are not correlated with social media participation. If people don't take 30 seconds to vote for their favorite athlete, all the hoopla on Twitter and Instagram is nothing. Reese's online persona and her failure to cast a ballot are quite striking.
They continue to talk a good game instead of being about a good game. This is fan voting. This is literally vote for who you are a fan of. Vote for who you're a fan of, or vote for who you think is most worthy. Vote for who you're a fan of. Vote for who you think is most worthy. Vote for who you think are the stars in this league. Angel Reese fans, you guys aren't fans of her? You don't think she's most worthy? You don't think she's a star in this league?
With more than 160,000 votes, Hull is currently ranked 8th. Millions of people follow Hull on social media. She doesn't stir up controversy or drama. She simply wins games when she plays basketball. Fever supporters voted in accordance with their recognition of that value. That's what separates genuine assistance from online chatter. The mood on July 19th will be unlike anything the WNBA has ever experienced. The game will be televised nationally by ABC. Excitement will grow throughout the day. Thanks to the WNBA Countdown show on home court, the entire basketball world will witness Indianapolis honor 4 of its own All-Stars. The heart of women's basketball is now Indiana. In less than 2 years, the Fever transformed from a rebuilding team to an all-star powerhouse. There is genuine fan support. The voting figures attest to this. On July 19th, the home court advantage will be outstanding. The Fever transformed their all-star game at home into a full-fledged celebration of their hometown. They demonstrate that Indiana currently controls women's basketball. The ideal combination for Indianapolis women's basketball is for All-Stars, a home court, and national broadcasting. Consider what transpired just now. In less than 2 years, the Indiana Fever transformed from a rebuilding organization to an all-star powerhouse. There are 4 players in the top 10. Clark alone received more than 500,000 votes total. Control of their all-star game at home. Imagine the atmosphere on July 19th at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. There are 4 all-star home players on the court. The audience is fervently supporting their own team. Indianapolis is shown on national television as the epicenter of women's basketball. The Fever is only getting started. There is genuine fan support. The ability has been demonstrated with 4 all-stars and boundless potential. The 2025 season gets underway. Vote for the Fever in the all-star game and leave a comment below with your thoughts on Fever FFab 4. To ensure you never miss anything, like, subscribe, and enable all notifications after you click the video on the screen. We'll see you in the next.